But let's get to it.
Psalm 14. The first thing I'd like to note about Season 2, Episode 1 of The Chosen is that my expectations were simultaneously met and flipped at the same time. When the show left off, Jesus was confronting the woman at the well and had enlightened her to redemption. And my expectations of Jesus starting his ministry publicly, announcing his deity, those expectations were met. What I did not expect was the opening and ending of this episode to leap forward into the future to where Jesus had left the earth and John is gathering the eyewitness accounts of all the gospel writers who are very cleverly aged with the makeup, whether it be full beards, a bit of grey here and there, or just a subtle lines. It would seem that the story was, at least this part of the story, was focusing a lot on John's perspective. I think they're going to do these different little account sessions with all the other witnesses. The reason they jumped forward in time to John writing down his account of the gospel was because the scene at the end of this episode involved Jesus talking to John about what part he should read, and it was specifically a passage from the Scroll of Moses that they read. And then the rest of the episode was a mixture of expectations met and expectations flipped over, just like the rest of the show, honestly. It involved them going to the town in which the woman at the well lived, and Jesus starting his ministry, and them encountering new characters, and Jesus' love reaches out to all of them to see to it that everyone gets a taste of that sweet good news. In this particular episode, there was a particular focus on the story of the 100 sheep. Jesus, after doing a bit of carpentry, again, he was a carpenter for trade, he went to the public square to talk publicly, and then he was talking about a story about 100 sheep. He got a shepherd to back up his story and how everyone is significant like sheep. A shepherd goes looking for a sheep, and if one goes astray, the shepherd will go out of his way to seek that sheep, and when that sheep is found, it'll be absolutely worth it. In other words, the heavens will rejoice if even one sinner manages to make it into the heavens. Therefore, everyone is valuable under God's eyes. And later on in the episode, Jesus goes shopping. I never thought I'd say that. Jesus and his friends go shopping, especially for garlic. I love Seventh Heaven garlic. And they meet this farmer who other people were helping out earlier. There was a farmer that, in order to get some food and drink for this farmer, whom some characters were helping out earlier, Jesus reached out to this farmer because he too was a lost sheep after something terrible that he did. So Jesus gave him a miracle hug. And he was healed of his cramped leg by practically springing forth. And I love how when Jesus and his accomplices are sleeping at the woman at the well's place, which is rumored to be haunted by ghosts, but Jesus, of course, is not scared. He wakes up in the morning knowing what he's done for the family with a smile. Being omniscient, he knows a lot of things. Although, Dallas Jenkins, if you're watching this, the way you've written Jesus, I applaud a lot. From your interviews, you seem like a very sincere man who is trying to showcase the more human side of Jesus because he was fully God and fully man, whereas previous films and miniseries showed him as somewhat of an alienated Superman. I can understand your approach, and I can understand that this is new territory. I can really respect certain lines where Jesus references parts of the Bible.
I am who I am.
Like when he leaves a room, and people ask, where shall we find you? And he says, seek and you will find.
You need protection. Enough with the protection. I'll be fine. I won't be long.
But where can we find you?
Seek, and you will find.
His riddles.
It didn't sound like a riddle to me.
If you look for him, you'll find him.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, yeah?
What'd you hear?
I heard you looked and couldn't find him.
You guys lost him for practically a whole day, Matthew said.
And then, with that wisdom being new at the time, the people say, he's always talking in riddles. Jesus was talking in riddles before Gandalf made it cool. Although, Dallas, if you are watching this, there are some parts of the writing you need to be aware of. Jesus is the Son of God. And I would recommend staying away from lines that involve Jesus saying, "I don't know," or "even I didn't see that coming." The latter of which you used in the first season, and the former of which you used in this episode. Although, to be fair, in the full context of the scene, John was asking Jesus, "Oh, which scroll of Moses is your favorite?" Jesus says, "I don't know," but then continues to say, "They're all my favorites." And yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for Jesus to say the whole Bible is a highlight because he practically inspired it.
Do you have a favorite passage from the first 5?
Do you?
I don't know. I like them all.
You don't say.
I can see how you'd get away with that. Although, if you're trying to add in a doses of humor with Jesus, I'd recommend adding in lines like, "Haha, saw that coming," or, to quote Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Cahul, "Aha, I foretold you so." Although something else I really admired is that in the previous season we saw Jesus as a gentle, humble figure who could still be looked up to as a leader. Here, in this episode, we saw a scene where Jesus has to be more stern towards people who were being heckled by people who were hostile towards Jews. That's another thing about this episode. There's some clear indications that different groups of people are not okay with each other, but Jesus would change that. So his Jewish friend said, "We should summon fire and lightning to crush them as punishment." But Jesus made it quite clear that he's trying to sow seeds to bring a kingdom of peace. And he's quite stern in this scene, and he says, "Do you honestly think that summoning fire and lightning is going to help you in a situation where you're trying to transform and befriend people from the inside out?"
Let us do something.
And what would that achieve?
Defending your honor.
They reviled and humiliated you.
They deserve to have bolts of lightning rain down and incinerate them!
Yes, fire from the heavens.
Fire.
You said we could do things like that. Say the word, and it will happen.
Why not? We knew we couldn't trust these people. We shouldn't have come here in the first place. They don't deserve you.
Why do you think I had you work Melek's field? What was I trying to teach you?
To help?
You think it was just to be more helpful? Or to be better farmers? It was to show you that what we're doing here will last for generations. What I told Fotina at the well, and what she then told so many others, it's sowing seeds that will have a lasting impact for lifetimes. Can you not see what's happening here? These people that you hate so much are believing in me without even seeing miracles. It's the message, the truth that we're giving them. And you're going to get in the way of that because a few people from a region you don't like were mean to you. That they're not worthy? What, you're so much better? You're more worthy? Well, let me tell you something. You're not. That's the whole point. It's why I'm here.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rabbi. As we gather others, I need you to help show the way. To be humble.
We will.
You wanted to use the power of God to bring down fire, to burn these people up?
Well, it sounds a lot worse when you say it that way.
You too. You're like a storm on the sea.
Come on.
afterwards, there's kind of a fun scene where Jesus jokes about the two of them summoning thunder from their chests. Thunder, this review is kind of short because I'm kind of pressed for time, and I already recorded myself talking about it, and I have to do it again, and I really hate it when that happens. But overall, this is a really great episode. I don't know if I'm in a position to support Season 2 financially, but if you can, please support The Chosen. This is a great new perspective on the Gospels, and it's done so in a respectful way. Spread the word, spread the message, and enjoy. Be blessed. Oh, and pray for The Chosen team. See to it that they get their filming done, and that we make Dallas Jenkins' dreams come true.
So, what do we think?